Hi, I am Dr. J.P. Silvera from TaylorMade Health and Wellness, and I want to tell you about a patient who walked through our door 3 days after a car accident. Not because she was in obvious pain, not because she had an appointment, but because something quietly stopped feeling right. She felt okay at first. A little stiff, she said, but nothing that seemed serious. She had things to do. She figured she'd rest and it would pass. By day 2, the headaches started. By day 3, she couldn't turn her head to check lanes while driving without wincing. She didn't want to be on the road. That's when she decided enough was enough and she came in. Here's what I want you to understand because this story is more common than most people realize. When your body takes the force of a car accident, even a low speed one, even a fender bender, adrenaline floods your system almost immediately. And adrenaline is extraordinarily good at masking pain. Your nervous system goes into survival mode. It prioritizes getting you out of the situation. The discomfort, the inflammation, the soft tissue strain, it doesn't always register right away. Sometimes it takes 12 hours, sometimes 24, sometimes, like with this patient, it takes closer to 48 or 72 hours for the full picture to arrive. This is how whiplash works. The head snaps forward and back faster than your muscles can brace. The ligaments and soft tissue in your neck get stretched beyond their normal range. And then your body spends the next day or two reacting, inflammation builds, muscles tighten to protect the area, and what started as mild stiffness becomes something that affects your ability to drive, to sleep, to look over your shoulder. By the time she walked in, she was 3 days out from the accident. She had no appointment, and she wasn't entirely sure what her insurance covered. I hear some version of this every single week. People wait because they're not sure how bad it is. They wait because they don't know if chiropractic is covered. They wait because they don't want to overreact. And all the while, the injury is there. It's just waiting to make itself impossible to ignore. Let me tell you what actually happened when she walked in. The first thing we did was listen. Not a quick intake form and straight to a table. She told us what happened, the details of the accident, when the stiffness started, when the headaches came, exactly where things hurt, and how the pain moved. That part matters. The pattern of symptoms tells us a significant amount before we ever put hands on someone. Then we did a physical exam, range of motion, palpation of the cervical spine. We looked at how her neck was moving, where the restriction was, what the tissue felt like. Then, and this is the part I want to emphasize, before we recommended a single thing, we sat with her and explained in plain language what we found, what the soft tissue strain meant, why her headaches were likely referral pain from the neck, what we thought the recovery path looked like. She left that first visit knowing exactly what was going on in her body and what came next. No mystery, no pressure, no rushed explanation on the way out the door. We also handled the insurance question on the spot. Auto insurance, under the personal injury protection portion of most policies, typically covers chiropractic care after an accident. We work with those claims. You don't have to figure that out before you call us. You don't have to know the answer before you walk in. Now, here is what I want to say to anyone watching this who was in an accident recently, whether it was yesterday, 3 days ago, or a week ago, and you're telling yourself you'll wait and see. The window for getting ahead of this matters. Early intervention after whiplash is well documented to produce better outcomes. When soft tissue injuries are addressed, before the surrounding muscles have fully compensated and tightened, before the movement patterns have started to change, recovery is typically faster and more complete. Waiting doesn't just mean more pain in the short term, it can mean longer treatment, more complicated recovery, and in some cases chronic stiffness or recurring headaches that become the new normal. You don't need to be in crisis to come in. You need to have been in an accident and feel like something is off. Walking in without an appointment is fine. Calling the same day is fine. Not knowing what your insurance covers is fine. Those are not obstacles. Those are just the starting point of the conversation. The patient I told you about at the beginning, she came in not knowing if she was overreacting. She left with a treatment plan, a clear explanation, and real confidence about what was happening in her body. That's what the first visit is for.